That's why they call it the little man in the boat.
Get out of here.
Action.
Truly.
Action.
Oh, hey guys. I'm Brendan Schaub from The Fighter and the Kid.
And I'm Bryan Callen from The Fighter and the Kid. You know, we have a podcast called The Fighter and the Kid, and some people say it's the best podcast ever.
Some? Try everybody, Brian. Things are going so well, Hollywood decided to give us our own web series. Crazy, I know.
In other words, we don't want to just feed people's ears. In other words, the podcast has been so successful that we wanted to create a visual experience. So not just for your ears, now it's for your eyes as well.
Yeah, it's called Fighter and the Kid 3D.
But it's not 3D.
If I say bat, you say
Tub.
bat tub?
Yeah, bathtub.
There's no replacing Bryan Callen.
That's correct.
Bryan's strength lies in his childlike wonder.
It's all me.
Good luck replacing Big Brown.
I see a fat guy with a bucket of chicken.
Two men face the most difficult survival challenge of their lives.
The hell is that?
It's a miracle.
You laughing at me?
No, man.
You guys did some real crazy stuff.
Sorry. Again.
Hey, going to the company barbecue? I'm throwing it.
Would somebody get me some more coffee? This has already been through somebody.
We just did a drug deal.
Cop. Act normal. Don't look at him.
What are you doing?
Don't look at him. Wave at him. Fucking wave at him.
I'm not gonna wave at him. Just act normal.
What the hell's going on?
Tell you. Open it. It's not 3D. It's not.
That made no sense, that trailer. That trailer taught you exactly nothing about what the show is, but that's okay.
I like it.
You don't think that taught anybody anything about the show?
No, it's just a lot of imagery, but that's okay.
A lot.
We're so.
He's a hater. I like it.
Did you make it and he didn't? And is that where that comes from?
Kind
What's
of.
that? No, the
Some say I'm the brains of the operation.
Hey, and the muscle.
So what are you?
I'm basically his traveling concubine. I cook for him.
He's a very expensive assistant,
That's exactly right.
but he's funny.
And I put out.
Guys, let's go back to the beginning. How did the Fighter and the Kid start?
He's a cage fighter and I'm a comedian, and we cracked each other up. And I said, why don't we start recording this because we're idiots and people will like it. And we just decided to kind of talk the way we talk, in real life, like at dinner or just at a bar, and we talk about fighting and girls and just really unoriginal macho stuff. And somehow we got an audience. It's really interesting. I think when you're honest, you get people kind of go, hey, those guys aren't really putting on a show. They're just having a conversation. It's a good way to bring people in.
He skipped a few details because the way we met, I was a coach on a reality show called The Ultimate Fighter. I was a grappling coach there. So if you guys don't know fighting, it's The Ultimate Fighters. There's 16 guys that live in a house and they fight each other. And there's no cell phones, no TV. All they do is live, train, and fight each other. I was on there many years ago, and it was miserable. So they bring Bryan in to make these kids laugh.
And
I
to
was
teach them some kung fu.
Definitely not. So Bryan gets there to make the kids laugh. I was just getting ready to move to LA. Bryan was the first friend I made in Los Angeles.
Took him under my wing.
He did, and he goes, hey, man, I didn't even know what a podcast was. He goes, hey, we should get together once a
First
week.
you were like, I'm lost. What's LA like? I'm afraid. And I said, Grab
Kind
onto
of.
my belt loop and follow me around, kid.
Kind of. I was like, oh, you're that guy from all those.
Hey, don't act like my resume's that obscure.
Anyways, so he
Wait,
goes,
where were you going with that?
He's like, you're that guy from,
hey, you're the guy from all those, you're like
that's
the,
my
you're
level
like,
of celebrity.
You're like the stand-in. You're like the extra in all those famous movies.
You're that actor, that sometimes working actor that does small parts in huge movies.
No, I know who Bryan was, but he's like, hey, let's get together and talk about fighting once a week, just fighting. I was like, oh my God, that sounds great. And then I was like, I'll do it, but it has to be a lifestyle show. So
It's a good-looking audience. by the way. Young.
I saw some of the people you guys have had on here before. I'm sure some were like, what the fuck are these guys doing up here?
Young and tight skin.
I saw a picture of Ice Cube. I was like, oh, God damn it. Our publicist is good.
I just like young people because they're so full of hope and they think that.
Hey, man, that's creepy.
I know.
You're 50.
No, I just mean I just like young people, you know. Yeah. I just want to help them with their problems. Let me help you girls break into the business. I got a photography studio at my place.
I apologize.
You guys are into blow and photography.
Bryan does think he can. He thinks he can help everyone. Like the other day,
What?
we had a driver, and he was an Indian guy who was a little out of shape. He was a Native American. So Bryan's talking to this guy. We're in the car for him for an hour.
It wasn't just a
He's
little
talking
out.
to this guy about the struggles of being a Native American in America.
Well,
You're white in Calabasas.
I'm Irish Italian, dude. There's a difference. No, I was trying
and then
to.
you start giving him diet
He
tips.
was asking me questions about diet because he's
Not really.
Because he's like, "Why are you so shredded?" And I was like,
No, that's the.
How did he see that you were so shredded?
Because
Were
I
you
don't
wearing
wear
like a tank top?
No, I don't wear clothes when I'm in cars.
Oh, okay.
He didn't
fair
ask
enough.
though. He just brought it up. Like, I mean, he's a heavy-set gentleman. I mean, he's a big Indian. And Bryan just
Native
goes.
American.
Bryan
Please
goes,
use the right nomenclature. God,
I'm talking
Sorry
Indian,
about my
not
politically
Indian.
incorrect.
He was saying he's all.
Indian. Oh,
I don't know if any of that was appropriate.
That's a visual.
oh my God.
Did we all not get that?
All right, man. Keep
He
talking.
didn't even ask you for your diet tips. Just like, what's your protein intake like? It's like,
know.
I don't know, man.
Told him I'll write it down. Come to my camp. Come to my nutrition camp. Back to the girls.
Brian, are you a guy obsessed with nutrition?
No, food has become a religion, and it drives me crazy. And there are two camps. One's the paleo camp. We lift weights and eat meat. And the other is the vegan camp, which is we're super bendy, and we like to open our chakras. And nobody's talking to each
But
other.
they want you to know they're on that diet.
I
Meet
know.
anyone who's on that diet, it's like, hey, how's it going? Good.
I know. Like
Come
the
on,
minute you
paleo.
eat some bacon, they're like, oh, you're going to hell. You know, it's become this weird religion.
Dude, I'm on a weird diet. I'm on this ketogenic diet, #KetoKid. And the other day,
Tell them what that is.
the other day,
what is that?
I'll tell you in a second. However,
sorry.
the other day, as we had a really busy day, I didn't have time to eat. What they don't tell you is when you're on this diet, apparently if you don't eat, you go blind in one eye. We're in this huge meeting. This guy's talking. My right eye just goes, just shut down.
You should get that checked out, by the way.
Nah, I'll be fine.
The ketogenic diet is basically fat and protein.
Just fat, protein,
No sugar.
sugars,
And,
no carbs.
Yeah, and so he's doing it. And now he's down to a trim 245 pounds.
But I want to backtrack for a second here. Are you sure it's the diet that shuts down your
Nope.
your sight?
He sure isn't. He's not an eye doctor. I
Yeah.
think it's something
No, I'm
serious.
not.
Yo,
a
where
doctor.
did you hear that?
When your
Google,
eye,
Google.
he Googled when
Google.
he Googled left eye shut down, and it said when you eat lots of steak and avocado,
In this-
your eye shuts down.
In this meeting, though, man, I mean, we've been waiting for this meeting for a long time,
Yeah.
and usually I'm real talkative. You can't shut me up. I didn't say a word. I was like, oh, I'm losing my vision. I slowly started. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah, diet can do that because I started eating a lot of pineapple, and it burns when I pee. So I'm pretty sure that's
What you don't, if you do have a condition,
kidding.
you don't want to Google it.
an STD joke. Don't you get anything?
They're young.
Young kids, huh? Always wear.
What you don't want to do is if you do have a problem like that, you don't want to Google it because it take you down a weird road,
yeah.
man. I thought I had cancer, all
It's
sorts
true.
of stuff.
It's true.
Nah.
Brennan, you're retired from fighting, right?
Correct.
But you still diet and you still train pretty heavily?
Yes.
Yeah, I train all the time. Not the same training. So I do like cardio, circuit training, running all the time.
Take your shirt off.
And then
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got a very good body.
Still 6 days a week. But really, I was shooting a show and it was a pilot for something, and it was me and 3 girls. And I just see the playback of the corner of my eye, and I look like Shrek. I was like, oh my God.
You're a big man.
Since then. And also, I was in Mexico on a family vacation, and I retired, right? And I haven't seen my dad in a while. And he just looks at me in the pool and goes,
That's no good.
yeah. No, he just goes, living the life, huh?
No,
And I was just like,
didn't he say letting the good times roll, huh?
Yeah, he goes, living the life, letting the good times roll, I see.
And he's staring right at your stomach.
Yeah, he was.
Is your dad in good shape?
He's in good shape.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. 'Cause I'd be
Yeah, he's
"Fuck
like,
you, I'm a
he'd
cage
whoop Chuck
fighter.
Norris's ass.
He's in good shape, actually.
Yeah.
Brendan is.
Yeah, no shit, Brian.
All right. Pro athlete.
Used to be. I tell dick jokes now.
I can make a lot of money off you if I pimped you out, I feel.
That's the problem,
Men
man.
and
Everyone
women,
thinks
men and women would pay a lot of money.
Aren't
for
you
Brian.
already kind of pimping him out?
I am.
You know what?
I am.
He kind of is when you think about it. Everyone thinks I'm a sugar baby because I'm with this older guy all the time. So they think I'm a sugar baby.
It's very true. Gay men usually misconstrue that notion because they're always like, hello. And you're like, he's not my boyfriend. And then they're like, well, do you want to be my boyfriend? And then you go, well, I'm straight, I think.
For the
but
price,
I've been through some phases, right? I think you're a little bit, because we never like making fun of anybody for their sexual orientation because there's too much of that in the world. But I think Brennan is probably 15% gay.
Maybe. I'm a little too
Aren't we
much
all a
into
little?
fashion.
I think we all are.
I think we
when
all
I
are
look
a
at
little.
you, I realize that I'm not as straight as I thought I was.
Fuck yes.
You're a good-looking dude.
Look at that hair.
Yeah. I don't
at
get
that
what's
hair.
wrong
It's
with
all worth it, man.
appreciating a good-looking dude. But you should be thanking me because I am really into fashion. When I met Brian, he had dad jeans and a Tommy Bahama shirt and Skechers. Straight up. Look at him
I
now.
used to wear flip-flops with jeans, and it hurt his eyes.
It would bum me out.
I can't look. He's very metro.
He would come to the studio dressed. I was like, excuse me, sir, are you taking the SATs? Why are you dressed? Why are you in sweats? What are you doing? To a big
Are you
network.
taking the SATs?
What the hell are you doing?
Well, no. It's for a fighter. He can beat up pretty much the whole planet. And usually those guys are very macho. But Brennan, he's into face creams and colognes, hair.
Face
you know,
creams?
hair stuff. Oh yeah.
I'm,
you put
I'm,
stuff
I'm
on your face.
moisturized for sure. I got punched in the face. I got punched in the face.
You
for a
moisturized?
solid 10 years.
So I never moisturized.
Hey, I don't want to do this for anyone, but you need to moisturize.
Come on.
Hey, you need a nap and a glass of water.
That's
my
not
man.
true, dude. I'm just rugged and craggly, and I can.
When you started hanging out with Brennan and doing stuff for like performing for fighters, did you start getting into fighting? Were you already into
I've been a
fighting
fight
before
fan.
that?
I've been a fight fan forever.
Boxing before Ultimate
All of
Fighting?
it.
Just all of it?
I love MMA. I think MMA is the hardest sport in the world. I think the stuff that he did, and especially to get to that level, is so people don't realize how difficult it is because boxing is very orthodox. Boxing is very difficult, of course, but it's one skill in a sense, like boxing. You're using your hands. When you do MMA, you got to know how to punch, kick, wrestle, submission. There's no time in your life to get good enough. And the game is always evolving. And you got to remember, you see guys at his size fight. You got 250-pound guys who are very athletic with tiny gloves. One mistake. If you don't move your head an
Tell
inch
him,
this
Brian.
way, you go out.
Tell
you
him,
see it
Brian.
all the time.
I took Brian through my last training camp, which was last December. Seems like forever ago. I took Brian through the training camp just so he could get an idea of what's going on.
It's crazy. They get in there and bang. I mean, they just and that head.
It's kind of a
grip
bad
doesn't help.
idea though, because right before I'd be doing like sparring or something, Brian like, God, you look nervous, bro.
Well, the
Yeah,
guy you
man.
were fighting was a 270-pound, 6'8" giant. So there are better ways to make a living. So that's why we do this.
Podcast.
Yes. Talking is better
Yeah,
than
I always
punching.
say this: fighting or professional sports. You know, granted, you get some fame or money for it, but I feel like Andy Dufresne crawled through all that shit. He's my Morgan Freeman. Now we're in Mexico.
Well, can you not make me that old? Like,
But then people are like, well, he got paid. Yeah, even Andy Dufresne got those cold beers for his boys. You remember that?
yes. We're talking about Shawshank Redemption, kids.
Oh, yeah, you guys might be too young for
Yeah, it was
Shawshank.
a long time ago.
I don't remember Shawshank as much as I
How
think as I
dare
should.
you.
I've seen it,
Yeah.
but I don't remember it.
You know
a
what?
Shawshank.
You don't remember it?
I don't remember it.
Holy
I remember there was a character named Red,
Yes.
right?
He was a naughty.
And there was a moment, and isn't there a moment where Tim Robbins' character bites?
Totally lost the audience. Completely lost.
They've never seen it. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's
They're checking
talk
their
about
phones.
Frozen. All right, we'll talk about Frozen.
Frozen. Well, they're not 4.
Doesn't he bite a penis in it?
What?
Doesn't Tim Robbins' character bite a penis in it?
Doesn't he what?
Bite a penis.
No, he says if anything you put in my mouth, I'm gonna bite off.
Yeah.
I think he
Because the
did.
lady boys were coming after him.
Oh,
he had to
I thought
fend
he
off. And then remember Morgan Freeman? Do your Morgan Freeman. Because he goes, I wish I could always say Andy won. I wish I could always say Andy won every time.
He's like, I wish I could. Oh, I didn't know Morgan Freeman sounded like. Man. I wish I could. Oh.
You had a bit of a sling blade in your Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, apparently Morgan Freeman got
Another
real
movie,
redneck.
another movie from '95.
Sorry, guys.
How many people have seen Sling Blade? 2 people. Woo! Maybe more.
You get a prize, the prize of having seen Sling Blade. Good for you.
Yeah.
So you guys, you know, on the podcast I was listening to the last one. You have this fighter on, Donald Cerrone, right? That's
Cowboy.
Donald
yes.
Cerrone, yeah.
Cowboy, and he talks about sort of wanting to fight even outside of the ring. Like he
is
just
interesting.
likes fighting and adrenaline. You strike me as a person who doesn't have that, and maybe never had that as a fighter.
No, yeah, I was always terrified. I don't think A lot of guys talk about it openly. I was terrified, man. I just happened to be really good at it. I mean, when I say really good, I wasn't a world champion, but I was top 10 in the world for a long time. So for me, it was just so terrifying. But I trained so hard. I worked harder than anyone. So I was prepared for the battle or the fight, but I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. So I don't miss anything about it. And like you said, a guy like Don Cerrone, there's guys who, they live for that. They breathe for that stuff. They jump out of planes. They ride bulls. I'm not that guy.
I remember the time he was going to fight Andrei Arlovsky, who's a giant Russian and a killer. And it was backstage, and they had just done where they face off. And I walk up to him, and I go, "How you feeling?" And he looked at me and he goes, "Scared." And that was all he said. And I didn't know where to go. Like, it's not, I was like, "Well, don't worry, you're fighting a giant monster. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Just duck and move your head." Like, I had no advice. I just went, "Oh, okay, well, it's going to be over in a little bit."
But whether you win or lose, it will be over.
Yeah, but that's why I think the podcast has generated such kind of this close-knit fan base, because I never understood this. I don't get why people just aren't real about it. Like, I know some amazing fighters. They're terrified, man. We don't have to act tough all the time. To me, that's not tough. So whenever you're in a bar, the guy who's giving off that vibe like he's a tough dude, he's probably the least insecure guy in the bar.
Like me, guys. Like me, because I'm
tough guys don't act tough. They just don't. I
was listening to a podcast with the two of you where you were busting him because you act tough quite often.
Only around me. Like, we'll walk down Abbott Kinney.
Oh, it's great.
I'll look over and he's puffing out his neck.
I love it. Because I'm walking around with him, and then I suddenly take on, like, I'll look at myself. It's funny, because I look at him, and then you start thinking that you're just as big, because you're walking, you're like, we're lions, I'm a lion. I'm walking, and then I'll be walking with him, and I just glance over to see what this bad mofo, and I'll look over in the reflection, and he's standing here, and I'm here, and it literally looks like, I'm like, kadoosh, and then it looks like I have rickets, like, oh, somebody didn't get enough calcium in the womb. Oh, and it hurts me. But then I go like that. I wish you guys could see what I'm working with, because I'm striated. I always have to, no, because I cover my arms, otherwise it would be too distracting.
Busting out, busting.
Did somebody stretch human skin over a cheetah or what?
Let it loose, bud.
God, I'm so supple. Look at that. I haven't even stretched. Seriously, how many people can point their toe? Hey, get there! Kick you right in your face. What a day! When I punch, I make those.
He'll be doing this all day.
A day! I do that. When I stop your heart, I hit you. A day. I hit here. A day! And then you die. But then I revive you. I revive you. I give you, what is this called? CPR. This is so creepy. I look like
that is not CPR. That is.
I don't know what that is.
When I'm saving your life, I get my hips into it.
That just looks like you're sexually assaulting
Hey, by the way,
person.
I just hurt my
he's
upper
like this
groin.
24 hours. Whether you guys are here or not, he's doing this
Do it
all
alone.
the time.
He sees me.
I will literally stare at him while we're just in the hotel room while he's doing this. I don't get it, man.
You walked in on me when I was doing naked yoga, and I think you screamed something about a baby bird. A dead baby bird.
That got weird. I apologize.
Whatever.
I apologize, AOL.
Uptight audience. Again, if any of you ladies want to break into show business, I run a workshop.
And I just taught him about DM, so ladies, brace yourselves.
That's right, ladies.
He was like, "How are you getting all these private messages?"
I didn't know anything about it.
Dang it, give me your phone. He goes, "Whoa."
I'm married, so what am I? I'm an
And then for the next 70 hours, he's just been scrolling through.
I felt bad. I was like, "Hey, thank you." You
like, this is from 4 years ago. Hey, thanks for the support. For reals.
I know.
How weird is that?
I wish I was single and 30 now with Tinder, and I'd definitely.
Tinder?
I'd have to carry on.
No, you want Grindr.
Hey. Dude, it's so, I see these guys who just swipe in, and I'm like, it's like your phone is a sex GPS or something.
It used to be harder, didn't it? These kids these days,
Back in the day, you had to actually meet somebody and talk to them.
Buy them a
in
drink.
a bar.
Not anymore.
Saddest thing about Tinder is that when you die, your Tinder profile still exists.
Isn't that crazy?
So like,
somebody was using mine.
You're gonna be dead, and someone's still gonna be going, no, no.
I swear,
so sad.
That's a bummer.
Somebody sent me. There's a guy in Florida using my profile as his Grindr profile.
Grindr?
I thought, you're not gonna get a lot of guys. Like, you're not gonna. It's like, hey, if you want the medium, middle-aged
Oh, no,
white
there's
guy.
some guys.
If you're into wrinkles and wisdom, he's your guy.
It's true.
This guy is 170 pounds.
Podcast host.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, it's called catfishing, right? Because Tinder, I've never been on there. I'm not on there. There's some fake accounts, but so when they get on there and then they just meet up, right? It's like, dude, you don't look it's catfish, right? It's just a lot of catfishing. I'm
think
assuming
so.
going on. Yeah.
I don't personally know.
Hey, bro.
I don't know
You
anything
know a little
about
bit too
Tinder.
much about it, man.
Yeah. When I'm curious, when you have a fighter like Donald Cerrone in there who is aggressive and does like fighting, do you guys worry about how much you're gonna bust his chops, how much you're gonna mess with him? Because
I
so much
grew
of
up
the
with
podcast is you guys messing around
they're
with
good
each other.
True. Me and Donald, as far as the fight game, we trained together back in Denver, so I've known Donald for a while. There's some guys we've had on the show, and it doesn't mix well with us if they're just a guy promoting something. People don't enjoy the show. Like we've had some big names on like 50 Cent or some of these other celebrities who they don't know the platform of the show and they don't know the relationship between us. It's not fun, man. It's very cookie cutter. So we've kind of gone away from that.
well, the audience nowadays, because we're so exposed to so many things, the audience can tell when they're being sold something.
we call it honey dick.
Yeah, they can tell when they're being honey-dicked. They can tell when they're being sort of lied to. And if you're on, that's the problem with a lot of formats. People get on to promote their show or to promote their product. But human beings can sense that right away instead of having an experience. It's a little bit like when you're on a date. I always say this to young guys. Dating is adversarial. Men and women, at least in this culture, there's this weird adversarial thing. There's guys that are like, I got to figure out a way to get that girl in bed, and I'm going to figure out how to lie to her. So what happens is, and girls are playing the same character. Guys play a character, girls play a character when they meet each other, whatever it might be. And it's rare when you see two people who go, you're a human being, I'm a human being, let's just connect and have a real conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dates don't work like that, Brian. You've been out of the game for quite some time.
Well,
You can't be like, hey, listen, I'm pretty lazy, man.
No, I don't say
I barely
that.
like to dress up.
I just say,
I haven't
come
been
on.
out in months.
No,
I'm usually Netflix and chill.
No, I say I can help you in the business. No, but you know what I'm saying though? There is this weird
being real.
adversarial relationship I
But
find with
the
men
thing
and
is,
women.
when celebrities come on to promote something, they'd be better off if they just show their true colors and someone goes, oh, I like that guy.
Yes.
Whatever he's in, I'll probably go watch it or I'm going to listen to that guy.
Yes, exactly. We've had celebrities on that, like, you know them, like in one aspect because you have dinner and they're regular dudes. Then they come on and literally they're talking in a different voice. Like they're talking, and you're like, well, bro, what do you? Hey, man,
Playing a character.
what do you? Yeah, I'm not your publicist and stuff. You know, they're just great guys. And they're just, you know what, man? It's just about energy and just about putting the good thing. Get the fuck. You're a dirtbag.
Oh, they were
Stop it.
awesome. They were awesome to work with. I loved hanging out like
Just
that kind
be
of.
honest. Be a real guy. You might offend somebody. Oh no, I'm so tired of this culture. We're all terrified of offending anybody and stepping on.
Like Blake Lively
sensibilities.
today. Blake Lively, if you saw her picture, she said face from Los
LA
Angeles.
face, Oakland
booty
booty.
from Oakland.
She's not
Yeah,
racist.
that booty's from Oakland.
She's not a racist person. She doesn't. That's not a slight on anybody. It's just she's just being funny.
But what's weird is like
Lighten up.
if you look at the comments, because my brother brought to my attention. If you look at comments, it's white people.
Of course, never
Most
black
of it's
people.
white people who are offended.
Of
How
course.
dare you?
Yeah, it's always the white liberals from like Harvard. I mean, you know.
It's weird.
They're content creators looking for headlines usually. That's what it is.
Look,
Man,
it's people
there's
with
a-
flat asses that are upset about this.
Listen,
It's white people with flat asses. How dare you?
I think, yeah, I would agree. I think that
She is a smoke show.
I think we focus on words too much. Focus on acts. It's very, very different.
More about how you think Blake Lively's a smoke show, Brendan, please.
Yeah, I mean, she is a cutie
Is she
pie.
pregnant right now?
No, I think they just had a kid. Either way, she's killing the game.
Yeah.
Let's open up for some questions from the audience.
Be nice.
Thanks
Hi.
for
What's up,
being
girl?
here. I would love to be on your show. Since
Okay.
You're just talking about it. Also, I
Wait,
was-
is that a response to all of your help you in the business
Can you help me?
proposition?
See how it works?
Hi,
You see how it works?
Holy shit, it
Did you
worked!
mention a workshop?
Networking.
We'll
All about
start with a
networking.
relaxation exercise.
Yeah. So I was wondering, since you guys are funny guys, do you guys ever play tricks on each other?
Do we play tricks on each other?
Not really. Just one.
I tried to wrestle him yesterday, and he was too tired to react. And I was pushing my knee on his stomach, and I was like, "What's up, bro?" And then I dug my finger into his neck, and he's like, tickly, tickly. But then he started to grab me. He's like an anaconda, and you have to run very quickly. And I snuck out.
We were at a party, and maybe Bryan had a few drinks, but he was dead serious. He's like, bro, I wrestled in high school, man. I think I can take you down. I'm like, very cool, man. Talking to some people, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, no, seriously. I mean, if I really tried, and he's dead serious. I'm like, whoa. They stopped the music. I'm like, Bryan, in front of everyone, I go, I will give you $5,000 cash right now if you can take me down. You can start however you want. So then it turns to me and Bryan, ruins the party. Everyone else is like, oh my God, here we go. And then
I really tried to take him down, and he sprawled on me, and I had a contusion on my ear. He did do this to me. He's such a. I'm in the bathroom I'm literally in the bathroom at the gas station. It's full. I'm washing my hands, and he goes like this. He sticks his head and he goes, hey, buddy, they don't have any Pepto-Bismol. Sorry about that. Can I get you something else? Or I'm going to the bathroom. I had to pee so badly, and there are all these women behind the Starbucks counter, and I got to go. And he goes, you're going to be okay, buddy? He's got to really bust. He's going to destroy your bathroom. Do you guys have a tip jar? I'm really sorry.
He runs in, and they're like,
I was
oh my
so
God.
embarrassed. I was like, I have to pee. That's all I got to do. They were like, we don't want to hear it. So, yeah.
Have you guys ever really pissed each other off on the podcast? Like, didn't talk to each other for a couple days afterwards?
No.
Or, like, really angered one another?
No, not
Which is
really.
not
We get
like
over
that.
it pretty fast. We'll argue on there for sure.
We have
But
serious
we'll
arguments.
get over it.
Yeah, we've had some shouting arguments, but, it's never like that.
No.
Next question.
Hey guys, thanks
What's
for
up?
coming. So
Yeah.
you were talking about how you wish more people would kind of say it was kind of scary wrestling or fighting. Did
Yeah.
you ever ask some of your teammates or your friends that
The other
wrestle?
fighters?
Yeah, and how they respond.
Yeah, well, I know because I've seen some of the baddest dudes in the world, way better fighters than me, who are terrified. I've seen guys cry in the back before they go out. But then you see the win or lose the fight, they get on the mic afterwards at press conference, like, just another day in the office. This is what I do. Like, what? Bro, you're in the fetal position crying. What are you talking about? So I think it would do them so much more as far as people relating to them if they were just honest about it. It's scary, man. It's just not natural to have this huge event and you can potentially get hurt and you're risking your life. Not risking your life, but you're putting everything out there. It's scary. Same with stand-up. I'm terrified when I go out there. You know what? I might just be a big pussy. Maybe it's just me. But all this stuff is scary.
I think that I mean, not to be like the older guy here, but I really think that if you do things that scare you, you're going to be better off. I think that most of us spend a lot of time trying to be safe.
Career-wise. I'm not saying
Career-wise.
jump out of planes
No,
and shit like that.
but career-wise, and even doing something you're not sure you can do sometimes can really spark other avenues of creativity. And I think that if you spend most of your time searching for comfort and pleasure, I don't think it's going to serve you as well as staying a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit afraid, especially when it comes to your goals.
But I also always knew that I should have probably gotten an entertainment because my favorite part of fighting or football, but really fighting, was before they had this new Reebok deal, I would create my own walkout uniform, and I'd be
Picking
walking in
outfit.
front of the camera and like, I look so sweet right now. When you're going to fight one of the best guys in the world, probably doing the wrong job. Yeah.
Can I ask, what was the deal with the Reebok deal? Because I didn't know about it, and I read about it today, and I literally almost changed my shoes this morning because I didn't want to piss
It's the
you off
first thing
on
I
the
noticed
stage.
on you.
I
swear to God, it's the first thing I noticed.
And I shit you not, I have a pair of boots next to my desk that I was almost going to change
It's a
into.
slap in my face.
I respect you, and I was worried that it was accidentally a slap. I didn't know.
It's no different than using the iPhones and finding out they pay the Asian workers $3 to make them, So with Reebok, I'm trying to. So what they did is the UFC, for people that don't know, it used to be a free market. So if you're a fighter, you could have any sponsor, Nike, Puma, whoever, and that's how a majority of them made a lot of money, including myself. If you're a marketable guy, you could have any sponsor you want inside the cage. And the UFC's like, we want to make it look more professional. I'm all about that. We want to look like the other professional leagues. You can't have those anymore. You have to wear these Reebok outfits, which that's a whole nother subject with those. So you can only wear Reebok. And in my situation, I was a guy who was making low six figures per fight sponsorships. Well, now that Reebok came in, that's gone. You're getting 10 grand. So think about it. You're making 100 grand, let's say a year, and your boss comes up and goes, hey, man, sorry, you're only making 10 grand now. And I was like, whoa, this is kind of weird. But you're going to make up through the purse compensation stuff. They're like, oh, no, that stays the same. Well, that seems a little weird to me. So the deal just wasn't good for the fighters. And I'm always fighter first. And I feel like I'm one of the very first guys who has a voice, and there's nothing they can do about it. You can't shut me down. We're not in the 1994 where you fire me or kick me off a show and I just go away. I have 3-point-something million listeners every month. Whether I'm out of my mom's garage or I'm here, they're listening to it. So for me, I'm giving these guys a voice. And also, as a UFC fighter who doesn't like the Reebok deal, if you come out and say you don't like the Reebok deal, you're going to deal with some disciplinary actions. It's not good. So they have the right intentions, but it's a terrible deal. I think it's the worst choice the UFC's ever
It's also
made.
been bad for Reebok. Reebok doesn't look good with it.
Who wears Reeboks?
Wow, that's a good point.
Get a lot of compliments on these Reeboks, guys.
Hey, bro, I will send you a different pair that are much better than those. I will send you some Common Projects or Greats that are all white leather. They're nice shoes.
But they don't look as sort of geriatric and vintage as these do.
Geriatric and vintage.
I agree.
I love it.
Next
They
question.
don't look as the geriatric vintage model.
Yeah.
Go ahead, my friend.
Do we have another question?
What's up, guys?
Oh,
First of
where
all,
are you?
Brendan, I'm digging those boots.
Oh,
I
thanks,
like
dog.
those.
Common Projects, Chelsea boots.
I like them. Hypothetically, if someone offered you a buddy cop movie, if someone wrote and directed a
Are
buddy
you
cop
saying
movie,
you saying you got a script you want us to read?
I'm saying hypothetically,
Listen, bro.
would you guys take it?
We're open to everything because we're doing this. We shot these 12 episodes that turned some heads in the business. So right now, I think we did a good job with them, and so we're taking meetings on having a real TV show.
The next step, yeah.
So the biggest issue is we got to come up with this idea.
I think the biggest step is figuring out where it's gonna land.
Yeah.
Like our chemistry and our comedy. Like what network would that?
But we'll talk later if you got a proposition.
Listen, if you got a buddy cop movie, I'm not gonna say no. He's like Lethal Weapon 6.
Yeah. I'll be like, get down. He'll be like, I'm so raped.
Guys, before I let you go, how can people listen to The Fighter and the Kid, and how can people see these episodes?
iTunes, and you can get everything at tfatk.com. And then if you want to see the TV series we did where we went direct to consumer, tfatk3d.com.
Yeah, TFATK. So TFATK, which stands for The Fighter and the Kid. 3D.com for the series and for my 1
And then
hour
tonight
special.
we're in New York, sold out show, not a big deal.
Sorry.
We're sold out show, Gramercy Theater, and then tomorrow night we're in Boston, which is the big one, Wilbur Theater.
At the Wilbur Theater.
And then
yeah.
we're in Philadelphia.
At the Trocadero. So, and you can get tickets at TFATK. But you can hear the podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and AOL.
And YouTube. There's some stuff on YouTube as well.
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube.
Damn, we're everywhere.
Congratulations, guys. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.